morning, children. Today we are going to see 6th English term 2. Okay, children, in this video we are going to revise the topics: prose, trip to Ooty, poem from a railway carriage, supplementary, Gulliver's Travels. First, let's revise the prose. Trip to Ooty. The lesson Trip to Ooty is about the letter written by Merlin to Molly. This is Merlin and this is Molly. They are close friends. Children, in the letter, Merlin narrated to Molly about her trip to Ooty with her classmates. She said that their class teacher, Mrs. Geeta, and other 2 teachers accompanied with her class to Ooty. Merlin was so excited when she stepped into the toy train with her friends. Excited means thrilled. Excited means thrilled. There were wooden chairs with cushioned seats and oil-painted walls. She called out her friend Fatima to sit next to her. They were enjoying the view from the toy train. Their teacher, Mrs. Geeta, came around to see if everyone was seated properly. The train started with a jerk and moved slowly. Jerk means sudden movement. Jerk means sudden movement. Every one of them clapped joyfully. One of the boys, Muthu, wanted to walk along the side of the train as it was going very slowly. But his teacher scolded him to go to his seat immediately. All the girls laughed at this and Muthu sat down quietly with a long face. Merlin saw the beautiful scenes when the train moved. Scenes means sight. The scenes was beautiful with the purple-blue mountains forming a lovely backdrop to the green fields and the estates. Forming means making. Estates means farms. Monkeys with babies clinging onto them were racing all along the tracks. Racing means running. One of the monkeys tried to snatch a banana from a girl. Snatch means pluck. As she leaned out of the window to look at the train curving on the track, she gave a scream and moved back. Scream means cry. The misty clouds which covered the mountains. Misty means covered with mist and smoke. The bubbling stream with a small waterfall. Bubbling means overflowing. Stream means river. And a pretty blue bird were marvelous to see. Marvelous means amazing or excellent. Suddenly, the train stopped with a thud. Thud means heavy sound. Boys were so excited to see what happened. So, they begged their teacher to allow them to step out of the train. Begged means requested. Begged means requested. In the end, the whole compartment stepped out, and what a sight greeted their eyes. Greeted means welcomed. Greeted means welcomed. There they saw a cute baby elephant sitting on the track. The mother elephant was nearby trumpeting loudly. Trumpeting means making a loud noise. Trumpeting means making a loud noise. The engine driver and others tried to move the baby off the track with the bunch of bananas. But the mother elephant did not allow anyone near the baby. So they were making all kinds of sounds to make the baby elephant move from there. Just then Muthu went up to the baby with a bunch of bananas. Just as it moved to eat it, he moved backwards. He kept doing this till the baby was out on the side of the tracks. Everyone cheered as the baby and the mother started eating the bananas. Cheered means encouraged. Cheered means encouraged. As they were eating, everyone got into the train and it left after a delay of half an hour. Merlin ended the letter saying that it was a fantastic trip. Fantastic means excellent. It was enchanting to listen to the sounds of streams. Streams means river. And waterfalls. She can never forget the wide wind-swept tea estates, cloud-covered mountains, the swaying trees, and the birds chirping. The whole group was so excited by the trip. Children, now let's see the glossary. Trip, travel, excited, thrilled, fun, enjoyment, jerk, sudden movement, scene, sight, forming, making, clinging, sticking, snatch, pluck, scream, cry, bubbling, overflowing, misty, covered with mist and smoke, stream, river, begged, requested, estates, farms, racing, running. Children, now let's see the opposites. Baby, adult, loudly, softly, delay, speed, fantastic, common, greeted, ignored, pretty, ugly, scream, murmur, outside, inside, wide, narrow, friend, enemy. Now let's see fill in the blanks. First one, Merlin was thrilled when the school arranged the trip. Second one, the teacher asked the children to take their seat because the train was about to move. Third one, Geeta madam could not stop the children running out of the train because they wanted to see what had happened. Fourth one, the people were making all kinds of sounds because they wanted to move the baby elephant out of the track. Fifth one, we do not really see the landscape from your normal train because the train never passes through such places. Now let's see the important questions and answers. First one, where did the boys and girls go. The boys and girls went on a trip to Ooty. Second one, why did Muthu say that he could walk along its side? Muthu said that he could walk along its side because the train was moving very slowly. Third one, why did the girls snigger? The girls sniggered because the teacher shouted at Muthu to go back to his seat immediately. Fourth one, why did Muthu and his friends step out of the train? The train stopped suddenly. So Muthu and his friends stepped out of the train to see what had happened. Fifth one, describe the beauty of the blue mountain. The purple blue mountains formed lovely backdrop to the green fields and tea estates. Sixth one, who came and sat next to Merlin in the toy train? Fatima and her friend came and sat next to the Merlin in the toy train. Seventh one, who was sitting on the track? A cute baby elephant was sitting on the track. Eighth one, what did the engine driver do? He tried to move the baby gently off the track with a bunch of bananas. Okay children, next we will revise the poem From a Railway Carriage. Okay children, before seeing the poem, let's have a short look about the poet. This poem was written by Robert Louis Stevenson. He was born on 13th November 1850 in United Kingdom. He was a Scottish novelist, poet and travel writer. Okay children, now let's see the poem. Children, this is a memory poem. This poem has 16 lines. Faster than Faris, faster than witches. Bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. All of the sides of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrabbles all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stinging the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. Now let's see the explanation of the poem. Now let's see the first two lines. Faster than Faris, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches. Children, in these lines, the poet says that the train runs more quickly than the Faris that can fly or the witches can move, and it rushes leaving behind bridges, houses, hedges and ditches. Next lines, and charging along like troops in a battle, all through the meadows, the horses and cattle. In these lines, the poet says that when the train advanced forward, it seems as the soldiers are attacking enemy in a battlefield. It runs and leaves behind the green fields where horses and cattle are grazing. Now we will see the next lines. All of the sides of the hill and the plain fly as thick as driving rain. In these lines, the poet says that all the scenes of hill and plain were being crossed by train as quick as one drop of rain follows another drop in a storm. Next lines. And ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Wink means close and open one eye quickly. In these lines, the poet says that the train was crossing painted stations with a whistle. Now we will see the next two lines. Here is a child who clambers and scrabbles all by himself and gathering brambles. Clambers means climb. Scrabbles means moving upwardly up a steep and rough ground. In these lines, the poet says that he also sees a child clumping a steep ground by himself with difficulty. During his climb, he gathers blackberries. Now we will see the next two lines. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and there is the green for stringing the daisies. In these lines, the poet says that he sees a tramp or a homeless person who was looking at the train with amazement. Some ladies were making garlands of daisy flowers. Next lines. Here is the cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. In these lines, the poet says that he sees a cart moving slowly in the middle of a highway. It was loaded with the cart driver and a load. Okay children, now let's see the last two lines. And here is a mill and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. Glimpse means a short view. In these lines, the poet says that he sees a watermill and a river while traveling in the train. All these objects appeared and disappeared so quickly that the poet looked at them only for a short time and they can never be seen again. Now let's see the glossary. Charge, sudden attack upon a person. Clamber, climb. Brambles, blackberry. Tramp, as the beggar. Stringing, hang. Lumping, carry with difficulty. Glimpse, see or partially. Troops, soldiers or armed force. Scrabble, moving upwardly up a steep and rough ground. Gazes, stares. Wink, close and open one eye quickly. Let's see the important questions and answers. First one, what is faster than Ferris and witches? The train runs faster than Ferris and witches. Second one, where do you think the child is? The poet sees a child in the fields climbing up a steepy ground. Third one, why does the poet mention bridges and houses, hedges and ditches? And where are they? The poet mentions them because we can see them while traveling in a train. They are on the way of the train journey. Fourth one, what does charges along like troops in a battle mean? The train runs forward as quickly as army soldiers attack the enemy in the battlefield. Fifth one, what does the child clamber and scrabble? The child clambers and scrabbles to gather blackberries. Sixth one, who is a tramp? A tramp is a homeless person who travels from place to place on foot in search of work. Okay children, now let's revise the supplementary Gulliver's Travels. Now let's see the characters of the story. Gulliver, he is the main character of the story. Lilliputans. Now let's start the story. Gulliver, a doctor who was going on a long voyage. Voyage means long journey. The voyage started well, but soon things changed dramatically. The ship got caught in a violent storm and was thrown off course. Violent is nothing but involving physical force intended to hurt or damage. Then it hit a rock and broke up completely. 6 of the crew members, including Gulliver, got into a small boat and rowed until they were overturned by a big wave which came up suddenly. Gulliver was a good swimmer and he managed to swim till he reached land. The coast appeared strange and lonely. Coast means near the sea. Strange means unusual or surprising. Gulliver dragged himself along the shore. Dragged means difficulty. He looked for some people or houses, but there was no sign of life. Hungry and exhausted, he fell on a patch of grass and fell into a deep sleep. Exhausted means very tired. When Gulliver woke up, he was lying on his back and the sun was in his face. When he tired to get up, he found himself unable to sit up or move at all. Terrified and puzzled, he tried to turn his head. Terrified means extreme fear. Puzzled means unable to understand. He found his arms and legs were securely tied with slender string on each side and attached to picks fixed on the ground. His hair, which was long and thick, was similarly tied down. He felt something moving along his body almost up to his chin. To his surprise, he saw a human being not 6 inches high with a bow and arrow in his hands and a quiver at his back. Arrow means a weapon consisting of a thin, straight stick with a sharp point. Gulliver later learnt that these creatures were called Lilliputans. Startled by the sight, Gulliver cried out and soon managed to free his left arm. The frightened Lilliputans fired dozens of tiny arrows into his hand, face and body until he once again bowed down calmly. Frightened means afraid. Fired means discharge. Calmly means strong emotion. The Lilliputans then built a stage of Gulliver's side that was about a foot and a half tall, upon which an obviously important person stood and made a 10-minute speech to Gulliver in a language he could not understand. By now, Gulliver was really hungry. With gestures, he signaled to the little people that he wanted food and drink. Gestures means a movement of part of the body, especially a hand or the head. The Lilliputans first got Gulliver to promise to behave himself and then promised to get him some food. They soon brought baskets of meat and several loaves of bread, which he ate 3 at a time, because they were so tiny. The Lilliputians also brought 2 barrels of drink, which he enjoyed, even though the barrels were smaller than a glass. Gulliver was tempted as he lay on the ground to take up 50 of the small creatures in his hand and crush them. But he did not want to be pricked with arrows again, and he had promised to behave in exchange for good treatment. After he had eaten, Gulliver promptly fell asleep because his drink had a sleeping draught in it. Promptly means immediately. They then set about transporting Gulliver to the capital. They used a large platform with 22 wheels pulled by dozens of 4.5-inch horses. They somehow managed to put him on the platform and dragged Gulliver down the road to the city. Suddenly, Gulliver woke up when the vehicle stopped. 2 or 3 curious young Lilliputians wanted to see how Gulliver looked when asleep. Curious means peculiar. They climbed up into the engine and, advancing very softly to his face, put the sharp end of their half pike into his left nostril. This tickled Gulliver's nose like a straw and made him sneeze. Tickled means lightly touch a person or a part of the body. As they started moving again, Gulliver saw that more than 100,000 Lilliputians had come out to see the strange giant. It was a carnival atmosphere, and the Lilliputians seemed to be enjoying themselves, much to Gulliver's amusement. Amusement means experience of finding something funny. Finally, they arrived at the emperor's place. Emperor means ruler or king. The emperor was there to receive Gulliver. Gulliver was lodged in an old and disused temple. His leg was chained and he could only move about a little bit. After a few weeks, the Lilliputians and the emperor decided that he meant them no harm. So Gulliver was set free to roam around Lilliput on condition that he would not harm them and would help them in whatever way he could. Gulliver agreed and was freed. He was provided with food and water. A house was built for him. Gulliver stayed with Lilliputians, helping them in many ways. Once it so happened that the neighboring kingdom of Blefuscu declared war on Lilliput. The king brought 100 ships to mount an attack. The Lilliputians ran to Gulliver for help. The emperor said, "Don't let us down now. Gulliver, we need your help." Gulliver walked into the sea. He took a long rope, tied all the 100 ships together and dragged them in the water. Gulliver pulled the ships the whole day, going round and round until the army of Blefuscu was giddy and was no positions of fight. The king of Blefuscu came begging for peace between the two kingdoms. The emperor agreed. Gulliver was hailed as a hero and lived peacefully in Lilliput for many years. Hailed means salute. Now let's choose the correct option. First one, Gulliver managed to reach the land as he was a doctor, a swimmer, the captain. The answer is a swimmer. Second one, the coast appeared strange and lonely, simple, new. The answer is lonely. Third one, the tickled Gulliver's nose like a straw and made him cough, laugh, sneeze. The answer is sneeze. Fourth one, the king brought a dash ships to mount and attack. 50, 100, 1000. The answer is 1000. Fifth one, Gulliver was dash as a hero, called, prized, hailed. The answer is hailed. Okay children, now let's see the true or false. First one, Gulliver was the captain of the ship. The answer is true. Second one, the horses pad 4.5 inches tall. The answer is true. Third one, the war between the two kingdoms ended in peace. The answer is true. Fourth one, 4 of the crew members including Gulliver got into a small boat. The answer is false. Fifth one, Gulliver was not set free at all. The answer is false. Now let's see the important questions and answers. First one, who was Gulliver? Gulliver was a doctor. Second one, what happened to the ship? The ship got caught in a violent storm and was thrown off course. Third one, how many of the members got into a boat? 6 crew members including Gulliver got into a small boat. Fourth one, how did Gulliver manage to reach the land? As he was a good swimmer, he managed to reach the land. Fifth one, where was Gulliver lodged? Gulliver was lodged in an old and disused temple. Sixth one, what did the emperor do for Gulliver? The emperor built him a house and provided him with food and water. Seventh one, who declared war on Lilliput? The king of Blefuscu declared war on Lilliput.